Legal proceedings intensify for the deadly I-75 pileup in January. That story first tonight on your news at 6.
An unusual attack in North Central Florida. We talked to the owner of a bull that put one man in the hospital with some serious injuries.
And lots of talk and still no action when it comes to Alachua County's commissioners and mosquitoes. Why commissioners are not exactly seeing eye to eye. Your news at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Developing tonight, the fallout from January's I-75 disaster is only beginning to be felt. At least 11 notices of intent to sue the state have been filed over the series of deadly crashes. 11 people were killed, 18 people hospitalized.
This Friday, the Florida Highway Patrol will release its report into what happened leading up to that crash. They'll also respond to an April investigation by FDLE saying mistakes were made. Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicles Director Julie Jones says that after the report is released, the state won't be answering very many questions because they don't want to jeopardize the lawsuits.
So as not to confuse the public and confuse the facts, we're going to try to limit discussions on anything that would be performance-based on the patrol's part and have that come out as part of any type of litigation.
The section of I-75 was closed briefly before the wrecks due to heavy fog and smoke in the area. At least one trooper objected to the road being reopened. The crashes involved at least a dozen cars, pickup trucks, a motorhome, and 6 semi-tractor trailers.
Well, they left the light on perhaps a little too long. A motel in Palatka was the site of a drug bust over the weekend. Putnam County deputies arrested this team of accused drug sellers. 32-year-old Timothy Steele. Smiling there is 32-year-old Roxanne Akins and 21-year-old Timothy Toney. When deputies arrived at the room, they say they found amphetamines, prescription pills, and drug paraphernalia. All 3 were taken to the county lockup on possession charges.
It's one of the hazards of raising cattle. A man is in stable condition tonight after a bull attacked him at a farm in Orange Heights. TV 20's Yarima Farinas is in our studio tonight, and you tell us that it wasn't exactly a wild bull.
The victim fed the bull every day for the past 2 years. Alachua County Fire Rescue is not releasing his name because of federal health care laws. But we do know the bull's name. It's Lucky. And the man who raised him says sadly his luck has run out.
Lucky isn't your average bull. He was abandoned as a calf, but was lucky to be found by George Daugherty of eastern Alachua County.
We had to bottle feed him, raise him on the bottle, which we played with him a lot when he was little, you know, our grandson.
But on Monday night, Lucky did a whole lot more than just play. He attacked a 41-year-old man.
You just can't predict an animal of any kind. I mean, horses, you know, dogs, they're all the same.
Daugherty says the victim, who is his friend, works at this farm, and he feeds and watches over the herd every day. On Monday night around 7:30, the man parked his truck behind this gate.
Harold Theus from the Alachua County Fire Rescue says while the man was feeding the cows at this farm, the bull pulled up behind him and started stomping on him several times.
The man managed to get away from Lucky.
Thanks, he rolled underneath the truck until the bull left. And then how he got out from under the truck and got in and drove and still closed the gates and got to my house is one of them so-called miracles, I guess.
The victim drove 2 miles to get to Daugherty's home, where they called 911. Daugherty says he has no choice but to send Lucky away. He's loading him up in a trailer and taking him to a market in Lake City.
I hate to see him go because I know what's going to happen to him, but he's got to go now.
He says he can't keep him because then Lucky will think it's okay to attack again.
It makes me feel bad, especially for my friend, you know.
Daugherty tells us people may be surprised to hear about a bull attack, but he says attacks like this happen often. He says it's just the life of a farmer. Yarima Farinas, TV 20 News.
Well, the clock is ticking, but the Alachua County Commission has not yet settled the question of whether to spray pesticides to combat this year's oversized mosquito population. The city of Gainesville sprays for mosquitoes, and so do some surrounding counties, but Alachua County is one that doesn't. Commissioners held another meeting to discuss the pros and cons of spraying and how to educate the public on personal protection from mosquitoes. Now, they decided to revisit the issue for a 3rd time at the next county commission meeting.
And of course, all the rain that we've been getting for the past couple of weeks certainly is adding to the mosquito problem.
Meteorologist Mike Gismondi is here to tell us if we're going to get any more rain.
Yeah, more rain on the way, and in fact, a few showers redeveloping as the night goes on tonight. Let's get out there and show you what we have right now. That's through northern Marion County up through Reddick. In fact, there's a significant weather advisory for that cell you see just passing through northern Marion County now. That's for strong winds and small hail. Expect that through 6:30 this p.m. tonight. Otherwise, starting to calm down in Taylor, but really heavier showers and lots of lightning starting to push into Columbia County and all the way through Lafayette County as well. Suwannee County in on the action in that heavier cell too. Alachua County saw a little redevelopment, but as the night goes on, this rain really should start to come to an end. More rain on the way tomorrow. I'll have all those details coming up in just a few minutes.
After federal officials sent a letter to Governor Rick Scott notifying him of counties affected by Tropical Storm Debbie, state officials are now working with farmers to get help. The state executive director for the Farm Service Agency for the USDA toured farms impacted by Debbie today. Well, several farmers from Columbia, Suwannee, Lafayette counties have now asked for assistance. Farmers say they've lost thousands of dollars after sinkholes formed and then the floodwater destroyed their crops. The goal is to try to get the funds for farmers as soon as possible.
Our Florida delegation and other members of Congress will help appropriate the appropriate funding to help restore these farms that we saw today back to productive agriculture.
Manning says right now they're collecting data, and he says it's not clear when a decision will be made to release the money because Congress will have to make the final call.
Some broadband internet customers may be out of luck tonight. One of the companies that provides service to rural North Florida is no longer functioning. The North Florida Broadband Authority, which uses federal funds to make sure rural areas have internet service, has to find a new commercial provider for some customers. Main Street Broadband suddenly stopped service last week. The authority is now working to find another provider for 80,000 people, most of whom are located outside our region.
It's the 29th annual National Night Out, a nationwide effort by law enforcement to reach out to residents and establish peaceful relations. TV 20's Kyla Ryan joins us now live from the city of Alachua. And what's happening there tonight, Kyla?
Hi, Dave and Paige. As in part of a nationwide initiative, police are trying to demonstrate that there can, in fact, be a positive relationship between the law and those that they serve. Tonight in Alachua, Detective Jesse Sandusky joins us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so as a part of this initiative, what kind of relationship is the police department trying to foster with the community?
Our goal is to build a positive relationship between the businesses in Alachua, the citizens in Alachua, and the police department here in Alachua. We want to make criminals known. We want them to know that as a team, we're going to take a stance against crime in our community.
Okay, and why did that team decide to assemble at this strategic location here?
The location here is centrally located here in Alachua on beautiful downtown Main Street, and there's businesses here that we serve, there's citizens over here that we serve. We wanted to encourage as many as possible to come out and be a part of this nationwide event.
Okay, so everyone can take part.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So, National Night Out, this is its 29th annual year, and the outreach into the community, fostering relationships between the police and the people that they serve, started in 1984. Reporting live in Alachua, Kyla Ryan, TV 20 News.
Still to come, the departure of another state agency head is raising questions about the stability of Governor Rick Scott's administration.
So why are employees handing over their duties? The answer when we come back.